Alrighty. Yeah, looks like we're live. Things seem to be looking good, so let's get rolling. Hello everyone, Nehru here, and welcome back to another round of Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. I'm also kind of excited because if things are starting to look like we may finally get to the last area of Endwalker. We're finally getting to the home stretch for the MSQ of this expansion, and then I'll open up the doors to all the post expansion content. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Alright. So I guess the first question is, get right into it, or get a roulette in first, just to get things going.
That is a good question. Since it's been so long, let's get in a roulette.
Alrighty then.
Where do we start with, do you think?
Good question.
Normal rights. Might as well, right?
Alrighty then.
Oh, sick.
Indeed. Alright. 1 healer, 2 DPS. Alright, just down to 1 DPS now. There we go.
Oh dear, I've never done this one before.
This is going to be a little adventure then. This might hurt. Ow. It probably doesn't help that it's been a while since I've done this, and even then I've only done it a few times. Phew. Yeah, that went pretty well. I have to admit, I wasn't expecting us to land up on Eden of all the possible roulettes. Oh, all right. While you're dealing with the first fight stuff with that, I'll get started over here. And that is the entire map of Labyrinthos explored. Ooh, now that's a spaceship.
Hold position now.
Yep. At the moment, I've already started speaking with Fortunal, so I'll
Don't
be...
sell the next quest just yet.
Roger. And with turning that in, that is formally the last of the Aether Currents complete. So now I can finally fly in here. Next quest is Her Children, One and All, the first level 89 quest. I shall await your arrival before starting. I also imagine that probably once we get this, at some point between now and some point while we're in the final area, I'll finally get access to the artifact gear for this expansion.
Potentially.
Yeah, try to think which class to ask which job to pick up the first set on, and honestly, I think I'm leaning towards the Red Mage. Just, well, the Red Mage has that style.
This is fair. Now then, where were you again?
Over in Labyrinthos. Nearest to Aporia, I'm over in the area where the spaceship is.
So where are you again?
Over in the center, where the spaceship is.
Ah, yes. Said you plan on going red mage, right now?
Yeah, red mage for the bleh, words. Red mage for the first round of getting the artifact armor.
Interesting.
Gotta go with that style.
Style, huh? You know what's coming next, don't you?
All I know for certain is that we are apparently going to be going in and trying to communicate with Heidelin.
Oh, we're not just going to be communicating. We're going to be talking with her.
We're gonna fight her, aren't we?
Never said that.
Considering that Heidelin is not, and what we had to deal with when we were interacting with her back in the past.
No idea what you mean now.
So, looks like. Yep, dungeon time.
Really think you're ready now?
Ready or not, nothing
What's
left
the
to
name of
do.
the dungeon?
Yep. The Itioscope, if I'm pronouncing it right.
Let me know. Think you're ready?
We'll find out.
Do you have any threes?
Go fish. Whew, the final leveling dungeon of Endwalker. Now for the, just the waiting.
Well, remember now. You're the Mandeville. Like only a Mandeville can. Cha 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 cha. Love this dance. It's the dancing back and forth part of the harvest dance. With the kicking the legs up in the air. Reminds very much of the creature dance from the old game Black and White. Not Pokemon Black and White, the old one by Lionhead Studios, the god game where your creature can literally learn to dance. That was one of his dance moves. Especially if you had the cow. The cow loved to use that one. If you had the tiger though, the frigga would break dance. She also used to like doing the harvest hand stuff as well.
anticipation. Eh, 6 minutes now, average, with time 10. Come on, pop already. Think about rolling DPS at the same time, considering my first time here, and I'm probably going to be spending a fair bit amount of time with just taking in what's going on around me. I don't feel I would be in the best shape to be trying to learn on the fly and just experience it if I'm trying to focus on tanking or healing. Ooh. Yeah, I want to get in. I want to get in there. So this. The waiting, the waiting, the waiting. And we crossed the 10-minute mark. DPS queues. Well, the average wait time is now officially out the window. Yeah, depending on how long the queue takes. Yeah, you ever try going into one of these things with like the NPCs with more than one player? Yeah.
Nope, not an option.
And in the interest of trying to make the thing go faster, I may have to, one of us is probably going to have to switch things up.
How convenient was that?
Yeah, I mean, if we weren't streaming it, I'd be more game to just sit and wait till the thing pops, but considering we're streaming, it's probably not going to be that entertaining to just be sitting around waiting for a DPS queue to pop.
seems in order with the lens. And I trust you can hear me?
Alright.
Those things are pure malcontent. The residue of lives unfulfilled.
Not healing him. He's gonna run ahead like that, or she or they or whatever. If someone's going to run ahead like an idiot, then not get themselves killed and potentially kill the entire party like that, they're not getting healing. Not in that scenario.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm considering I'm probably relatively squishy given my current armor for this one. I'm gonna be taking it slow.
Yeah. We go at the DPS, we go at the healer and tank space with DPS, not yours. Go at the healer's pace, Mr. DPS, not the tank, not the DPS. Not sorry, eh? Aquavale! Hey! Got a couple of barriers and a couple of blocks. No divine benefit for the rest. Honestly, considering the weird placement of this one in the level 2, you don't really get this dungeon a lot on DPS. This way.
Yep. Thank you very much.
They're one of those kind of samurais, eh? Look who it is! It's our old friend. Livius S. Junius. Even in death, she still hates us.
Lovely.
And she remembers us! How about that? Rise! You are not yet done! You do not yet have permission to die. Rising minute in the battle, I was gonna do that. Oh, I know.
Ether. It will guide you.
At least we don't have to look at the...
The ether is too dense. Ah, I'm losing you.
veritable trip down memory lane. What other faces are we going to end up seeing along this way? Or, not so faces, but you get the idea. do my best to focus so I make sure I don't mess anything up. Whew. Plus, I feel like I'm finally starting to get a feel of the Paladin. Alright, so who's the one at the end?
Who do you think?
But this is as far as you go. Oblivion beckons!
Oh no. I say, why can't you just die? But in this case, why can't you just stay dead and forgotten?
Many faces have I worn, but this is my favorite by far.
Because he's insane.
You will persist in this folly no longer. The stage is set. Let the curtains rise for the main attraction!
Crap!
What a boorish audience you are!
Well, I suppose that was bound to happen. On my way back.
Many faces have I worn, but this is my favorite by far! You will persist in this folly no longer! The stage is set!
Well, there we stand behind the ice block.
What a glorious audience you are!
Is it just me or is that samurai just not even bothering to try and dodge?
You're only noticing that now? Yes,
Oh. Sorry, trying to focus on the fight.
as the healer.
Lies!
As the healer, you definitely notice when the samurai is not dodging. Let's put it that
Your
way.
dreams, your hopes, your futures, delusions and lies!
Yeah, I noticed it when I saw he had 4 Vuln stacks going.
Samurai died like a bunch during that one.
Ugh. All right.
My very essence begins to wane. Sweet, sweet agony.
Leave this to her.
Come to deal the coup de grace. Good. Watching you struggle against the inevitable is bad comedy. Erase me from existence, soul and all. How would you know that name? Then it was you. In Elpis. With them itself. The final pieces fall into place. In my halcyon days, as the mortal Ammon, I was haunted by a dream. Night after night, the faceless multitude, the voiceless cries, shards of shattered memories. But slowly, the fog began to clear. This was Elpis. And I was Hermes. Recurring though it was, I paid this dream little heed. It was only when I was granted the seat and memories of Fandaniel that I knew these visions to be true. They were the memories of Hermes that he himself erased using the power of Kairos. Or so he thought. In his attempt to burn away the events of that fateful day, he succeeded only in searing them more deeply into his soul. My soul. Death failed to expunge them. No matter how many times it came. Rebirth after rebirth, from one Fandaniel to the next. I wonder, is Emet-Selch adrift somewhere in this ethereal sea? In defeat, finally remembering your time together in Elpis? How it must gall him to be entrusted with knowledge of the final days, only to be rendered powerless to act upon it. So many lifetimes dedicated to restoring his beloved Amaron in blissful ignorance. Oh, folly. But make no mistake. My life as Hermes is not the reason I invited the world's end. I have lived. I have struggled. I have dredged the very depths of despair. And in the detritus of existence, I found the truth. I served a great ruler, powerful beyond measure. The world his dominion. Yet even he and his vast empire were destined to fall. To become one with oblivion. At the end of life's journey lies only death. So I ask you, why live at all? We betray, we torment, we murder. We are wicked, spiteful creatures, without exception.
Nihilism at its finest.
If life is so sacred, so precious. Why fill it with such misery? Man wallows in a hell of his own making without purpose or meaning. To live is to suffer, and I would end that suffering by my own hand. It matters not if it flies in the face of all believed right and just. Death is the only solution! That is my truth, my answer to the question. And yet, even as the words pass my lips, I am filled with doubt. Has my search reached its end? Was this the only way? After all these years, is this the answer I was hoping for?
The lamentations of the damned. How it vexes me to see your conviction falter at the last. Van Damme, still clinging to existence, I see. You, who champion death so fervently, unwilling to accept your own, refusing to be purified and swept into the sea of souls. As do I. We prisoners to metal, watching as the world turns.
Ah! 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 Ah!
Though unlike me, you
Okay, ankles are not meant to rotate that way.
having your corpse made a puppet, dancing to another's tune.
You right over there?
Kinda. Just a bit.
Is that Arsahi?
How very astute. But let me be clear, I have not come to consort with the likes of you. Nor have I come to bemoan the state of the world following my untimely demise. In fact, I delight in mankind's downfall, and the anguish it brings the savior of the savages. If I played some small part in the chaos, all the better. Not that I was in any position to resist. But to be made accomplice to the betrayal of Lord Xenos. I would die 1,000 deaths to exact my vengeance. Now you are at my mercy. I shall drag us both into oblivion, and you will never see the fulfillment of your magnum opus, even should you be reborn. Your desperate search for answers must start again.
even here, even now, you have every right to hate me. For the fool I was. For the monster I became. But I will not beg forgiveness. A tale of Hermes, the man who knew so much, yet understood so little, ends here.
Don't try to follow me. I had more of you people than I could stomach in life. Never mind in death.
Likewise, I pray we do not meet again. You had better hope not.
Looks like the bridge to the next area.
Come. Hydaelyn is waiting.
Brave travelers, I welcome you. I see. Thou didst journey unto Elpis. And now, the rivers of time converge. I know why you have come. Yet I would hear you speak your reasons all the same.
You created the moon to deliver mankind from the final days. But is that really how it has to end? We do not wish to abandon this world. We want to protect the source and all of its shards.
To flee is but one of two paths. The other leadeth to Meteon, far beyond the stars, where she doth chant creation's requiem. Her domain is formed of dynamis, pure, absolute. Where emotion and memory govern all, ether will avail you naught. Meteon hath gathered the pain and despair of countless stars, and to go unprepared is to go unto your doom.
We'll beat her. We'll win. I swear it. Is what I might have said, once. After everything I've seen, all the times I've succumbed to my own anger and fear. I can no longer pretend that courage and faith will be enough. But are we truly so powerless? That our only choice is to flee?
Far from it, my child. Long ago, the inhabitants of myriad stars, many more prosperous than Aetheris, sought to free their worlds from life's woes. Sorrow and anger, conflict and hostility, despair, and even death itself. But as Meteon reported, every attempt ended in failure. Darkness abideth within every living being, and can never be cast out. Neither reason nor faith can challenge this immutable truth. To live is to suffer. And in suffering, find strength and purpose. as you have done so many times before. Thou dost pursue an impossible dream, yet knowing this, you pursue it nevertheless. And thou hast learned to depend on others as they do thee. Thy yearning for the power to save the powerless hath ever driven thee to greater heights. Thou hast grown strong. Though those closest to thee no longer walketh by thy side, their love remaineth thy guiding light. For duty's sake, thou hast been bound by truths unutterable time and time again. Yet thy heart hath never wavered, as thy companions will attest. In thy pursuit of mysteries great, all thou believest is brought into question. Undaunted, thy thirst for knowledge remaineth unquenched. The fires of hatred that once burned in thy heart burneth no more. From their ashes doth spring the light of love, warm and pure. As witness to black calamity, thou despaired at man's helplessness. Resolved, thou didst unite a distant world on the brink of collapse. And thou, my champion, when all did seem lost, thou never abandoned hope. For every trial and every foe that did bar thy way, thou hast proven equal to the challenge, drawing courage from the many bonds forged on thy journey. You have all known despair, and though the end approacheth, you walk on, heads held high. Therein lieth your power, the strength to silence the song of oblivion.
Then there is a means to confront her.
Yes, if you should prove yourselves worthy. Hark! Nigh impossible is it to send mortals to the edge of the universe. Should you fail, there will be no second chance. As the will of the star, I ask of you this. Do you possess the fortitude to stand firm when all around you doth crumble? Do you possess the faith to vanquish despair itself? Should you lack the strength to best a supreme deity, I cannot allow you to make the journey. You must leave this star and never return. Prepare yourselves.
Prove ourselves worthy, then. Sounds straightforward enough.
Aye. No room for confusion there.
In any case, we've come too far to back down now.
I am of the same mind. What power I have, I shall bring to bear.
The three of you seem to be forgetting who we're up against. It's not every day we battle a divine being of untold power. Well, not quite every day. Do try not to get underfoot. Needless to say, there'll be no margin for error.
Let us hold nothing back. For the people of this world and those beyond the rift.
Alas, the question I posed to thee in Elpis hath remained unanswered these long years. I would hear thy response, warrior of light. Shouldst thou emerge victorious?
Are they ready now?
Just a moment. Ready.
Then we begin the mother question. What do you wish to fight as?
Red Mage. Considering that this is a trial, yeah, I'd want to be able to have a little bit more flexibility to react to things. Well, this is has really started to escalate. One final trial before we head off to the end of the universe. I will say this area here looks amazing. Definitely going to be a good staging ground for this fight. showtime.
I, the last of my kind, shall test thee. Come, prove thy worth. Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate? A change of arms. May the test continue.
What the hell?
By blade! Crystals of light, to me!
We're boned. Yeah, all our DPS are dead, we're boned.
Here! The song of creation's end.
Shit.
Feel! The sorrow at hope's demise. Think! Find your way in the darkness.
Hey, bow raise, quickly. We have to use it right. so boned if we don't kill these things quickly. We're dead.
Follow your light. Or fly, my children, and never look back. Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate? A change of arms. May the test continue. We're near or far. And now
That
this.
smells like it.
Light unyielding.
Oh god.
Ah, crap, wrong button.
What did you press?
By flame.
I misclicked on the backflip. I was trying to go for the one. No, it's not the backflip.
Light unyielding. By blade. Crystals of light, to me.
Crack these things.
Here. The song of creation's end. Feel. The sorrow at hope's demise. Think. And find your way in the darkness. Or fly, my children, and never look back.
Much better, much better.
Is it?
Then you are resolved. But this test is far from over. By crystal's light. Refulgence eternal.
Ow. It's gonna take a few more for me to get this thing down.
Been through here maybe 5 times now. Still hard to get used to Hydaelyn's attacks. It always hurts more when you got a first timer in though. That's one thing you never goes around. It's like it always physically hurts more when you got a first timer in though. See, I've been through the trial of Hydaelyn a couple of times now. The first time and the second time I've done it around another time.
By flame!
It's always the most painful. And Hydaelyn is an unrelenting boss, so yeah.
Succumb not to fear!
Still at the rate you're going, you'll be caught up in no time. Still, what's his face? What was his name again that died in the Chronicles of Stormblood?
Where near or far?
Hold on. Ah, damn it. We could use a healer limit break. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The healer didn't have LB on the hotbar.
Fucking...
Have you the strength of will to alter man's fate? demands. May the test continue. We're near or far.
Ah, damn it. It's too far out.
And now this. Light unyielding. By blade! Light unyielding. By blade! Crystals of light, to me!
And let it begin again.
Here! The song of creation's end! Feel! The sorrow at hope's demise.
Oh, not the overlay!
Think. And find your way in the darkness. Follow your light. Or fly, my children, and never look back. Then you are resolved. This test is far from over. By crystal light. Light unyielding.
At least now we know why Eidolon is the mother crystal, right?
Refulgence eternal.
Oh, right. Eidolon and both Eidolon and Friday have some connection. So technically speaking, again, we're not actually tempered by Eidolon. That's what
We're near
Blessing of Light is similar to Tempering in a way, in that it protects from Tempering, but it's not the same. Fun stuff.
We're high or low. By flame!
I'm just dying so much.
Red Mage Day.
I died backward once.
Red Mage is the usual DPS, so isn't it?
Usually Dancer.
This is what you do.
At last, man has the strength to.
Ugh. That was rough.
No! This can't be happening!
Though my power is in constant flux, I have always kept a reserve for this very moment. It was a true test of your prowess. You have done well.
There is one thing I must ask. By sundering the world into 14 shards, the ether of all living beings too was divided. This reduction would in theory allow us to more easily interact with Dynamis. Having seen mankind brought to the very precipice of extinction, you wished for us to develop a means to overcome despair. You believed we had the potential, and sundered all creation to see it fulfilled, to deliver us to that swirling maelstrom of Dynamis in which our foe hides, and grant us the power to defeat her once and for all. Is this not true?
It is as thou sayest. 'Twas the trial to which I subjected mankind, and it hath led to untold bloodshed and suffering. There was no kindness, nor justice in the tragedy I wrought. When confronted with the almighty Zodiac, my only recourse was rend him and the world asunder, that his power be diminished for a time. And so it came to pass. Now you, my chosen, have surpassed my expectations, surpassed me. I entrust the fate of the universe unto you. This crystal contains the memory of Meteion's passage through the stars. Deliver it unto the Loporrits. They will guide you to her.
Though they may be capable of crossing great distances, there is a vast difference between traveling to the moon and the furthermost reaches of the great expanse. And unlike Meteion, we cannot simply soar on waves of dynamis to our destination.
Indeed. To make such a journey would require an astronomical amount of ether. But a solution lieth close at hand.
Of course.
Yes, my child. Ever since I became the will of the star, the ether drawn here had slowly crystallized. They who have answered my call know it well. While I have remained hidden, it hath become the embodiment of the planet's will in my place. A faceless, omnipotent force of nature. The Mother Crystal, our final hope. Alas, I can do no more. The fulfillment of this task doth fall to you, my chosen. Now, heed these words. Darkness and light, despair and hope, as goeth one, so goeth the other. Become light, become hope. I have a gift for thee. Come closer. Long have I searched for a means to safeguard the future of this star. Though I knew failure after failure, by recalling thy tales and my promise to thee, I found the strength to carry on. Though the world is ever changing, thy thirst for adventure hath never waned. Thine unshakable resolve never ceases to amaze, to inspire. As a mark of my gratitude, I bestow this final gift. Thou dost possess the Crystal of Azan, yes? As Hydaelyn, I reside over the forces of stasis, tranquility, peace. The laws which impart stability to existence itself. I will weave this self-same power into the crystal, granting thee mastery over matter, to give form to the formless. Use it wisely, or it will not last indefinitely. As thou hast seen on thy journey through the ethereal sea, souls are drawn to thee. Mayhap this trait will prove to be a boon rather than a hindrance. It is thy hopes and prayers that enable Azam's invocations and give them life. So keep them close. But pray, remember this. When the way forward is hidden, even from the mind's eye, look not to the invocation, but within yourself. These were the words of the crystal's original bearer. With that, my work is finished. Fulfill our promise. Right the wrongs committed when the world was yet whole. Silence the song of oblivion. Teach her a brighter melody. Show her our journey is far from over. Of this, I have no doubt. For yours is a light brilliant beyond measure. Long after I have gone, though not even my soul remaineth, my love will be with you forever, my dearest children.
Well, that was a lot. So, trying to process what just went down. So, yeah. We basically fought and killed Heidelin. We have we have the coordinates now, so well, let's see what everyone outside will say. Yay! That was a lot, that was a lot. And yeah, I'm gonna need to a few more runs of that Hydaelyn fight before I can get to a point where I'm somewhat comfortable with it. Alright, let's retire to our chambers, because... Whew, Delali.
There you are. Some time, indeed, yes. For you, at least. Believe me, I'd meant to get some proper sleep. But here we are, drifting along instead. Well, well, you too. And so we remain, to watch and wonder. Yes, indeed. To begin, we first must see the end.
It's... new title. Okay, gear's all repaired from all that.
Someone's got the zoomies, it seems.
I mean, one of my target goals was to try and attempt to get to the final area. It feels like everything is just about in place for us to finally go there. I mean, ideally, the finale, the wrapping up of this particular stream will end once I've set foot in the final area and have attuned to the Aetherite.
You'd best get rid of the wall.
Ultima Thule, huh? Yeah, looks like Tataru wants me.
Yep.
Yep, more than happy to. Always a pleasure to spend some time with Tataru. Oh, is this where we finally get the artifact gear? If that's the case, then I'm definitely gonna switch to red mage. I want the first one I pick up to get that but style. What is it?
They're all unlocked. Like all of them.
Yeah, but first one I pick up and try on. Let's see. Following event cannot be skipped.
You'll see. To be fair, you're gonna have a hard time.
That feels like it bodes quite ill.
We'll see.
Alright, I suppose it's time to wait for Tataru's boutique to open. Eminellian. And I'm probably going to keep on getting his name pronounced wrong as we keep going, because...
Oh, who, Madeline?
Yeah. For all the trouble all trouble he's caused, I'm not gonna send him to try Archon, though. No one deserves to eat that tasteless disaster trying to pretend to be bread. So, yeah, I'll send him to the last stand.
You remember he's Ishgardian, right?
Mm-hmm.
They probably like Archon Loaf and Ishgard. Then again, he's a noble, so maybe not.
Party at the Cairo Inn, eh?
Will there be lemon cakes?
Yes, will there be lemon cakes? Okay, I'm glad I decided to stick out, getting a little bit of levity after all that heavy that we went through earlier.
You've earned it.
Biggs and Wedge. Wedge, you're mumbling again. Come on, speak plainly. Thanks, Tataru. Okay, I'm gonna need to do some inventory management after we're all done here, but looking good, looking good. Gotta love that red mage drip. Whew. All things considered, that we're closing in on 3 hours now, and just how much heavy went down, I think this might be a spot to wrap things up for now, because oh, this has been a doozy.
Part of what took so long is she kind of died a lot.
Yeah, but like you said, that Heidelin fight is pretty unrelenting.
It can be in places, because the indicators for the fight are non-standard. So they're not the indicators we've gotten used to. They're not the AoE indicators we've gotten used to all this time. Which throws a lot of people off, because they're not the standard AoE indicators. Or, you know, the usual floor ones. They actually started, that's actually something you need to get used to. With Dawn Trail and a lot of other stuff as well. Because they started the, like, late Endwalker and Dawn Trail, they started implementing those more and more. Well, they do still use the regular AoE, indicators that you've seen. They start implementing those more. They've started implementing like the harder visual cues more and more. So yeah, those visual cues are very hard to get used to. Some of them at least. Like,
yeah, because that was one of the things that was having me die so much, was because I could not make out whether I was supposed to go in or back away.
Oh, the green one is away, the red ones are towards. The red ones, you basically have to stand underneath her for the for that one, for those sections of that one fight. Like the light and relenting thing, when you got the little green sword indicator, that means she's gonna do a close-up AoE, meaning you have to back away from her. The red ones are an indicator of you have to close in, basically stand underneath her. Because she's gonna attack the entire, she's gonna basically do it, she's gonna do a floor clear. The other attacks are pretty easy to kind of judge. It's those two ones with the crystal personally I find hard. Keep track of. The other ones that are just the standard AoEs where she's doing that the whole circular thing are really easy to learn.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to review that fight a bit. Yeah, with all that said, this is probably a good time to wrap it. And I'm at the very least satisfied that I finally got access to the artifact gear, which means now I can enjoy it. And as far as the red mage gear goes, I am liking it. Let's see what the other bits of artifact gear look like later, once I have some off-stream time to clear out my inventory a bit. Because, yeah.
Well, do keep in mind, now that you've gotten access to that gear, You should probably have access to the vendors as well. Rather than
Huh.
Well, if you do have access to the vendors in Radzahan that provide the endgame gear, that means, technically speaking, that gear of yours is technically leveled.
Yeah, worst case scenario, I could still use it for glamour.
True.
Yeah. Before we log off, I'm gonna head to Radzahan real quick and see if that stuff if those vendors have opened.
They might not have done. You might need to beat Medion first.
Yeah. If they haven't, then it's definitively, yeah, I'll have to beat Medion first.
You probably have to complete the quest Endwalker first, which is obviously, which will be the main quest, the final quest of the expansion before you get the post-patch, but yeah, if they've not unlocked yet...
Yep, they've not...
Yeah, they've not.
They've not unlocked yet, so...
You need to beat you need to beat Medion first.
So yeah, I'll have to make use of this artifact gear for the fight there, and then I could start gearing myself up proper.
Honestly, the case will be the same for Dawn Trail as well. When you get to level 99, you will get the artifact gear for your class. But hopefully, with you catching up on Dawn Trail, honestly, considering the length of time we spend on most of these, and the fact you'll be doing mostly after this, it will mostly be the minutes and stuff like this queue. The next area is called Ultima Thule. Yeah, this is the next area you'll be unlocking.
Yeah.
Without actually spoiling anything.
Yeah. I mean, since Portional's name dropped it.
Portional's already said that, but yeah, you spend a lot of time in Ultima Thule, strangely enough, and it is a large location. Like, you're gonna have a hard time getting around. Is the problem.
So in its own way, kind of like Ascius Law in some respects.
No, it's not. It's more like Western Lenosha, actually. Or is it Eastern Lenosha? Yeah, Eastern. Well, whichever basically, it's got two landmasses separated by, physically separate, so it's more like the water. Actually, no, a better example is closer to Sea of Clouds in Kurthus, where you can only really access the second area once you're physically reach it. You can't, like, walk all the way there. And you can't even travel all the way there on foot, because it's separated by, like, physically, like, no space in between. Or there's, like, it's not like water or anything, because we're in space. It's basically a bunch of floating islands. Without going into detail, so yeah, it is kind of a pain. Getting around is kind of a pain at first when you don't have flying, especially since actually finding the flying quests over there is kind of difficult. If they haven't reduced the number of ether currents from the ones that are actually required, pretty sure they may have reduced the number of ether currents because in the previous expansion now. Yeah, they reduced the number of ether currents required for Ultima Thule. There were even more in Ultima Thule at one point. They've actually reduced the number now, but there was a ton of the damn things. And finding them all was not fun. Like, for example, in Dawn Trail, there's about 5 quest-based ones for each area, and about 10 exploration-based ones.
Yeah, that's about what I remember from unlocking flying when in the past when I was exploring them as they were new areas.
Yep, but they've reduced it now to 4 exploration-based and 5 quest-based for all the previous expansions. Mostly to make it more accessible.
That's fair. that just means that that for most of the flying areas, I've got 6 of the Aether Currents that I went and tracked down are no longer available.
Pretty much. You don't need them anymore, I think, the Aether Currents. Like, most of these streamline everything. Pretty much. But yeah. You won't be able to keep up in any of the Dawn Trail areas with Dawn Mission has them. There's all those Aether Currents everywhere. Once we get to the next expansion, maybe you'll be able to keep up, because you'll probably have caught up by then. But, like... yeah, no, you're currently really far behind. You'll probably be able... honestly, you'll probably finish Dawn Trail by the time the next expansion comes out. At this rate. Maybe.
Yep.
Actually, no. Consider. Or at the very least, you'll finish Endwalker at the very least by the time for the next patch. Well, Endwalker post in time for the next patch. Hell, you may even be in Dawn Trail at that point. It depends on how long you actually spend in the cutscenes, because like there's a few voice cutscenes in Ultima Thule, but most of it is physically walking around. But just when it says that when you get to that, when you do the Aether Current, when you first arrive in Ultima Thule, walk to it. Do not use a mount. You're missing out. Because it's the only area in the game so far, but the soundtrack for which has lyrics. It's the only overworld area that has lyrics to the soundtrack.
I'll have to keep that in mind. And I'm pretty sure you're probably going to remind me again and just let me hear let me have it if I end up forgetting and mounting up.
Oh, it's gonna let you have it, alright.
Still, time will tell how long it'll take for me to get all caught up. Theoretically, I could get caught up in a much faster point, but part of this is all enjoying the experience. So, I mean, at this point, I think it's. Can I dependably say that I'm at this point probably more or less in getting into the home stretch for the launch Dawn Endwalker content?
Well, you'll definitely like at least a few of the scenes in post Endwalker.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to enjoying the post Endwalker stuff quite well, because prior to me starting this whole stream, I ended up it took me a few weeks to get through what I was behind on for Shadowbringers content.
But by the way, what's your thoughts on Astinian? Just completely unrelated question. What are your thoughts on Astinian?
On Astinian?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's come a far away from where he was when we first met. Yeah, I'd say it does say a lot more reliable than he used to be, or reliable in the sense that, you know, not having a massive mountain of hate focused on the dragons. And
that was partly Nidhogg's influence with Nidhogg's eye.
Yeah. I'd say he's definitely feels like he's earned his spot in being one of the Scions.
Oh no.
I'd say we can officially wrap things up for now. So, yeah, thanks as always for joining me, Stormy. Yeah, these are always fun ones, and oh my goodness, I was not that dungeon and trial took so much more than I anticipated. Plus,
oh yeah.
Alright, so if all goes well, next time we'll finally get to, now that I have a name, Ultima Thule. Because at this point, it's mostly just everyone taking some, all the Scions taking some downtime while the ship gets prepped for its departure. Basically, the last reprieve before going to war with Meteon. Definitely looking forward to the next one. Yeah. And thank you to everyone who came by to watch the stream. I hope you had a good time, and until the next one, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.